Every once in a while, there's this talk about expansion in the NFL. Okay? Are they going to go to Mexico City? Are they going to put a team in, I don't know, Portland? Are they going to put a team back in San Diego? Are they going to put a team in, fill in your city that doesn't have a team yet? I have a question for those people. Do you think there's enough quarterbacks? This weekend, these quarterbacks could legitimately be starting in the NFL. Zach Wilson, P.J. Walker, Mitch Trubisky, Gardner Minshew, Will Levis, Tommy DeVito, Tyson Bagent, Jaron Hall, Taylor Heineke, Clayton Tune, Brett Rippon. Now, some of them, as guys get healthy, might not. But there's a finite number of starting quarterbacks in the NFL, and there's more starting jobs in the world than there are legitimate, competent starting quarterbacks. This is a Bryce Young conversation we're having right now. If you've been frustrated with Bryce Young at any time this season, if you've wanted to move on, if you've thrown the B word out, bust, just know that it is a luxury to know who your quarterback is and to have them available to play, to know who you're building around, to see flashes of greatness, to be invested in a quarterback. That is a luxury. What are the Vikings doing at quarterback? Kirk Cousins has a popped Achilles, and his contract is up after this year. Jaron Hall is a rookie getting his first start this year, and they traded a 6th and 7th round pick swap to go and get Josh Dobbs, who earlier was traded from being a backup with the Browns to being the Cardinals starter. What are the Falcons doing at quarterback? I'm a fan of Heineke Magic. I'm not sure if I had Desmond Ridder and all that talent around him, I would want Heineke Magic by halfway through the season. Now, some of those guys are starting because of injuries, right? The Giants think they have their quarterback. They're paying their quarterback, Daniel Jones. Tommy DeVito was in there. And some of those guys are starting or getting the chance to start because simply their team doesn't have their guy, and they're still searching for their guy. Tyson Bagent. Could be Justin Fields, could be Bagent. They don't know. The Panthers know. And enjoy that. The uncertainty is worse even than having a quarterback that's like underperforming. The uncertainty is brutal. The lottery tickets of draft picks, the should they go get this free agent, that free agent, do you want to overpay for Derek Carr, or do you want to try to give Clayton Tune a chance? Like, what are these conversations some teams are having? Our Bryce Young meter, we had the Bryceometer, was boosted yesterday into the positive. We are more confident right now in Bryce Young than we have ever been as a Panthers quarterback. Celebrate that. Enjoy that. Take it in. Right? Sometimes it's all relative, right? You could always be someone else. Someone else usually has it worse off. The grass is always greener. Yeah. Do you want Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson? Sure. But you have a guy who might be that. The likelihood you can debate, but that Bryce Young might be a top-end starter. Might. You let him develop, you put the right pieces around him, he might be a top-end starter. There are probably 10 to 12 teams every year that know they don't have a top-end starter. And some of them know they don't have a top-end starter, and they're locked into a long-term contract with the guy they do have. Giants. You might be paying $40 million for a guy who threw for 15 touchdown passes last year. So I guess what I'm trying to say is keep the complaints to yourself a little bit. Or at least, actually, no, don't even keep them to yourself. Let them out if you feel them, right? Because you're a fan, fanatic, do what you got to do. If you want to complain about the quarterback, that's fine. But try to give yourself some perspective. Right? Try to give yourself some perspective on the league as a whole and just recognize, oh, you don't have a first-team all-pro quarterback? Yeah, at least you got a quarterback that you think maybe one day might be. Look at your look at your schedule. Okay, let's go through the next 4 games for the Panthers. Indianapolis, they obviously have the same hope you have. He's just hurt, Anthony Richardson. Chicago, what are they doing at quarterback? If your answer is anything other than Caleb Williams or Drake May, which is a lottery ticket, it's a draft pick, you're probably a little too optimistic. Dallas, Dak Prescott. Do they like Dak in Dallas? Or do they just like him because they're paying him a lot of money?
Depends on what week it is.
Very true. This week, they like him. CeeDee Lamb had a big game. Tennessee tried to play a 2-quarterback system last week. They tried to throw Will Levis and Malik Willis. Malik Willis went out there, dropped the snap, had it taken away, and then it turns out Will Levis was on fire.
Yeah.
If Malik Willis doesn't drop the snap, they wouldn't even know Will Levis was ready to play. And oh, by the way, when Tannehill comes back, what the heck are they doing?
Probably not playing him.
Probably telling him he's hurt until further notice.
Exactly.
Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield's having a little bit of a resurgence. I know, Panthers fans, you don't like to hear it. He might be just good enough that you can't draft a quarterback. What the heck are they doing next?